Imagine a river of gold, not of water, but of pure, shimmering metal, flowing across the vast, unforgiving sands of the Sahara. This wasn't a myth, it was the lifeblood of empires, a forgotten highway of wealth that made kings richer than our wildest dreams. This is the story of the trans-Saharan trade routes, the forgotten gold route that shaped the world. For centuries, before the age of exploration read through the maps, the world's most powerful economies weren't in Europe, but in West Africa. Empires like Ghana, Mali, and Songhai held a near monopoly on a resource everyone craved: gold. But this gold was deep in the forests of West Africa, far from the Mediterranean markets of Europe and the Middle East where it was in highest demand. The bridge between these two worlds was the Sahara Desert, one of the most hostile environments on Earth. The secret to conquering this vast ocean of sand was the dromedary camel. Introduced to the region around the 3rd century, this ship of the desert was a biological marvel. It could carry immense loads, travel for days without water, and navigate the shifting dunes. With the camel, Berber and Tuareg traders, the masters of the desert, began to organize massive caravans. These weren't just a few dozen camels, they were moving cities, sometimes numbering in the thousands, stretching for miles across the horizon. The journey was perilous. It could take months, navigating by the stars, enduring scorching days and freezing nights. Bandits were a constant threat, and a single sandstorm could wipe out an entire caravan, burying fortunes and lives beneath the dunes. Oases, precious islands of green, were critical lifelines, dictating the routes and the rhythm of the journey. So, what were they trading? The caravans traveling south from North Africa were laden with goods the West African empires desired. Chief among them was salt. In the sweltering climate of West Africa, salt was not a luxury. It was essential for preserving food and even for life itself. Blocks of salt, mined from ancient seabeds in the heart of the Sahara, were so valuable that they were sometimes traded for their weight in gold. Alongside salt came horses for the imperial armies, luxurious textiles, gleaming copper, manufactured goods, and glass beads. Heading north, the caravans carried the ultimate prize: gold. Sourced from the rich mines of Bambouk and Bur, this gold was the engine of the entire system. It was panned from rivers and dug from the earth by local communities. But the West African empires also exported other valuable goods: ivory, kola nuts, precious woods, and, tragically, enslaved people, a dark and brutal side to this lucrative trade. At the heart of this network were legendary cities that rose from the dust, becoming centers of commerce, culture, and learning. Cities like Timbuktu, Gao, and Jen weren't just dusty outposts, they were bustling cosmopolitan hubs. Imagine the markets of Timbuktu, filled with the sounds of a dozen languages, the scent of spices and perfumes, and the sight of merchants from Cairo, Fez, and Venice haggling with gold merchants from the south. These cities became incredibly wealthy. Their rulers controlled the trade, levying taxes on every pound of salt that came in and every ounce of gold that went out. This immense wealth funded powerful armies, magnificent mosques, and centers of learning that rivaled any in the world. The University of Sankara in Timbuktu housed hundreds of thousands of manuscripts on subjects ranging from astronomy and law to mathematics and medicine. Scholars flocked here from across the Islamic world. Perhaps the most famous figure to emerge from this era was Mansa Musa, the emperor of Mali. In 1324, he undertook the Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca, but this was no ordinary pilgrimage. His caravan was a spectacle of unimaginable wealth. Accounts from the time describe tens of thousands of soldiers and attendants, and dozens of camels, each carrying hundreds of pounds of pure gold dust. As he traveled through Cairo, he gave away so much gold that he single-handedly destabilized the local economy, causing the price of gold to plummet for over a decade. The world was put on notice. A fabulously wealthy and powerful empire existed south of the Sahara. Mansa Musa's journey literally put Mali on the map for European cartographers, often depicted with him holding a golden nugget. So, what happened to this incredible river of gold? Why did it dry up? The decline was gradual, caused by a confluence of factors. Internal strife and civil wars weakened the great West African empires. The Songhai Empire, the last of the great trading powers, fell to a Moroccan invasion in 1591. The invaders had superior gunpowder weapons, but they could never truly control the vast trade routes, and the old system fractured. But the biggest blow came from the sea. In the late 15th century, Portuguese explorers, seeking to bypass the North African middlemen, began sailing down the coast of West Africa. They established trading posts directly on the coast, offering European goods in direct exchange for gold, ivory, and enslaved people. This new maritime route was faster, cheaper, and less dangerous than the arduous trek across the desert. The caravans could no longer compete. The economic gravity of the region shifted from the interior to the coast. The great desert cities like Timbuktu, once the glittering jewels of the Sahara, slowly faded from prominence. The river of gold now flowed by sea, and the trans-Saharan trade routes, which had defined an entire era, dwindled into a shadow of their former glory, becoming the stuff of legend. Today, the echoes of this forgotten gold route still resonate. The magnificent mud-brick mosques of Jen and Timbuktu stand as testaments to a golden age. The ancient manuscripts, though many have been lost or destroyed, are being painstakingly preserved, revealing the intellectual heritage of these great civilizations. And the Tuareg people, descendants of the ancient caravan leaders, still traverse the desert, their culture and traditions a living link to a time when camel caravans laden with salt and gold ruled the sands and made kings rich beyond imagination. It's a powerful reminder that history is not always written by the victors we know, but sometimes it's buried, waiting to be rediscovered, in the shifting sands of the desert. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the past fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more stories from the forgotten corners of history. See you next time.